Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey podcast, Patience.
Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast. This is episode 403. Make sure you click to subscribe right now so you'll never miss a journey. I post one episode each week and each guest has a fascinating story to tell. Joining us today is Vanessa Hang. Vanessa is a problem solver, passionate about e-commerce, CEO at Online Sellers Solutions, Catalog Ninja, Sales Central expert, and a podcaster. Hello, Vanessa.
Hi, Patience. How are you?
I am fine. Thank you for coming on the show. My audience are excited to hear your story. Just start by telling us one thing we are going to learn from you today.
One thing that you're going to learn from me today, well, I guess if we dive into my story, you will learn about resilience and the power of determination and drive.
Let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my audience a little bit about your background, about what you did before you became a CEO?
Yeah, so before I was a CEO, I was in a job as an e-commerce manager for a company. And before that, I was an entrepreneur in my country, Venezuela. I've worn many hats in the process, but my whole life, I've been an entrepreneur. I always had ideas. I always had businesses and was selling to my friends when I was in middle school. The thing that got me where I'm at today was a position at a company where they allowed me to learn Amazon and e-commerce. I was there for a year and a half, and they taught me how to run an Amazon account, how to run the business, how to run the catalog, and all of those things. I didn't know anything before that. I understood e-commerce. I know that you could send stuff to FBA and they will ship it for you and get it to the customers. And that was the basic model that I understood at the moment. All of the details that I learned in that job got me where I'm at today. Patience, work, and meeting key people in the industry. One thing I realized pretty early in my career in e-commerce is that part of what I like to do in the Amazon world is very underrated. People overlook the management side of things because the attractive things, the ones that make a lot of noise, are product development and brand building and launching and influencers. Those things are more front-facing and sexier, but in the back end, the management, the solving problems, like understanding the platform, understanding the issues that are sometimes very technical, that's what people don't really realize, that it's very important for their business and they overlook it. What I did was start sharing content. So I start sharing SOPs from the very beginning, start sharing how to do things, how to solve problems. And that got me into a position where I was able to build a successful agency and business thanks to my focus, because a lot of people were suffering from the problems, but nobody had the content or the knowledge to solve them.
But why do you do what you do?
And I think the primary reason why I do what I do is that I fundamentally believe that I'm in this world to make it better at the moment, helping business owners and entrepreneurs in their business. When you have a business, you give opportunities to your employees, build a life that is amazing for yourself, and you solve a problem for your customers. So if you do it right, you're making the world better. That to me is the premise of why I do what I do. I like e-commerce. I'm very passionate about it. I'm a super nerd about the back-end things and obsessed a little bit too much on the Amazon world. But it's just a tool. It's just a vehicle to serve people, to solve problems. Yeah, I think it's that. And I don't know there is any other way to fulfill a mission where you can make the world better, solve problems, and have fun in the meantime. That's entrepreneurship.
Once you mentioned that you are helping the world through teaching them how to manage businesses and make it on their own. Tell us your journey, how you built a business as an immigrant in the USA.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't easy. I think our culture right now with the hustle culture, it kind of fantasize a lot the journey and romanticize a lot how like what building a business really is. And in my experience, it wasn't easy in the sense of there are not a lot of opportunities for people that look like me, that come from the country that I come from, and have the background that I have. So, in that sense, you already put yourself in a position where the odds are not in your favor. Ultimately, the thing that will make you successful is if you're solving the right problems, because there are many problems in the world to be solved. You just need to find one that you're good at or understand really well and that people will pay for. I feel that my job as an e-commerce manager gave me the knowledge I needed to start this business, but building it and understanding how to hire people, fire people, manage people, get clients, talk to clients, retain clients. School didn't teach me how to do all of those things. And it's just by doing it. It was just saying, let's go, let's do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know that I will make it happen. So a lot of improvisation in the way, also surrounding myself around people that are more successful than me, that are smarter than me. So I always like to be the dumbest people in the room in a sense, so I can always learn something. And that, I think, when you put all of those pieces, you get that fire and that commitment to make it happen no matter what. You surround yourself with people pushing you in the right direction and find a problem that can be solved, that you know how to solve, and that people will pay for. I think the formula that I had in my journey, and it takes time. The fourth factor will be time and patience. That's something that a lot of people and most entrepreneurs are probably where they struggle the most. And it's because the social media has shown us like, oh, overnight success. Like everybody's an overnight success. But they don't really know that overnight success took 12 years of work, showing up every single day and doing the things that are hard. In the US, I've only had a business for about 4 years. Before that, I was doing business in Venezuela, my home country. But yeah, so far it's been 4 years, and I cannot say that I'm an overnight success because I've been in every single step of the journey. But for some people, they'll be like, oh, wow, that's incredible. Vanessa came to the States in 2017, and now she's a CEO, exiting a company, and she's super successful. I don't see myself like that. I'm the person that shows up every day.
Aaron, you mentioned that people like you, I've heard that term, that word used. And I just want to clarify, what do you mean, people like me?
I guess we'll say immigrant, Latina, a woman with a very strong Spanish accent. And in that sense, especially in my industry, which is very male heavy, it's a lot of guys in the industry. There is very small percentage of women, and most of them don't look like me. You could say that's a problem, but I think every problem, in my opinion, is an opportunity as well. If it depends on how you look at it. But in a business perspective, at the beginning, I didn't have a credit card. My first credit card for the business, I got it probably a little bit less than a year ago because I didn't have those vehicles, those tools. The system isn't built for the position that I was in, like as an immigrant with a visa and then the process to get residency. It's probably because the system is not built for my case. It could be a problem or an opportunity. And I hope that my story and my journey, and for the people that follow me, it's also a source of inspiration because I don't think anything is impossible if you want to make it happen. Besides that, everything's possible. So it's just a matter of finding a way to do it.
Okay. Again, you touched about women. Why do you think there are not many women in the business world?
I think it's part of education. I was in a climbing gym one day. We were doing bouldering, and I love bouldering. I was seeing a route, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that route. I tried maybe 10 times, and I failed. I couldn't go past the middle of it. A guy came and did it so fast, and I was like, oh my God. When I saw his movements, I'm like, that's how you go from this place to that place. After I saw him did it, I went and did it myself, and I completed it, and I was able to go to top and then come back. So if you take that as an example, I think a lot of it is that in the past, you wouldn't think of a CEO and you wouldn't think a woman that is behind a CEO, an astronaut. You wouldn't think that that's a woman, or a doctor. So there are a lot of things where women were not in those positions. So we didn't thought that was possible. To me, it's that part of the story of like, I don't think I can do that. But when I saw somebody doing it, it's like, oh, now I know that's possible. So I guess part of that, the representation, and I'm super proud when people come to me and they say like, oh my God, it's so amazing to see somebody like you in a position where you are right now. I take it very seriously, like the part of being an example and just incentivizing those things. So I remember growing up, my mom used to buy me Barbies all the time. And I hated Barbies. I did not play with a single Barbie in my whole life. And I had hundreds of them. I'm not kidding. What I was doing, I was like building stuff with my cousins, riding bicycles, building castles and structures, playing the detective and doing all of these things. The things that I was getting fed is like, oh no, the Barbie, the doll, the soft things. I remember one time my dad told me like, I don't understand why you want for Christmas. I asked for a spy kit. It's like a thing that had a microphone that you could hear from afar, a notebook where the letters disappear. I asked that for Christmas. And my dad is like, I don't understand it. Why your sister is asking for the castle for the Barbie? Like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, nothing is wrong with me. I just don't think we need to let our kids and we need to let girls see what's possible. And I take that very, very seriously when I say that I hope that my journey is an example. I didn't see it growing up, even though my mom is a doctor. So I just took it there and I said, let's do it. Let's defy the odds.
How do you know you're successful?
That's a great question. That answer has changed many times in my life. And I hope that it keeps changing. Right now, my definition of success is being able to do what I love when I want to do it and having time to decide where to spend my time. That's probably the biggest sign of success. So not being attached to an agenda of other people, that's super important. And being able to fully express or do what I like to do and what I'm passionate about. That's the reason why I say I'm successful. It's because I live my life by that principle. In the past, it was about how much money I was making, or if I was a citizen of this country or that country, or if I have a family and stuff like that. Ultimately, success is about the freedom that you have to do the things that you want to do.
Tell us, how does it feel to sell a company to a bigger player in your space?
Yeah, so that's a story about the exit with my company. I built my agency, Online Seller Solutions. This year, a bigger company in the e-commerce space said, okay, you know what, we should join forces and start building something bigger. That to me was like a dream. I didn't build my business to exit. I couldn't believe that happened. I thought it was going to be way more glamorous than what it really is. The process is really painful. It's really slow. And I say painful in the sense of like, you need to go back and and review every single detail of your business. Everything is questioned, like every single line in your books. It's like, what is this? What is that? Like your SOPs, your employees, your processes, your clients. That was the part of the process that I didn't enjoy, but it gave me so much knowledge. I understand my business better than I've ever understood it, just because I went like in detail. So that part was very painful. The exit that I did wasn't a walk away. I'm still serving my industry and solving the problems that I like to solve. I'm staying now as the head of a bigger company. In my journey, I'm staying and building something better and bigger. If you have a business and you think that keep growing it is the thing you want, consider partnering or merging with bigger companies. I think that's a good decision. Or so far, to me, that has been the case. I really like the process. I've been a solopreneur my whole life, never had partners. And that's something that I'm allowing myself to do and have right now, which has been really powerful. And now I understand when I read stories of very successful people like Steve Jobs. He didn't build Apple by himself. He had amazing people and partners. I highly recommend any entrepreneur to think about a possibility of doing something like that.
What is one thing that has contributed to your success?
One thing, I don't know if I can pinpoint one thing, but I'll say the biggest thing is keeping a student mindset always. Always having that curiosity and that mindset of, I'm here to learn something. No matter, like I keep doing or I keep talking and, my business solves problems that are kind of the same problem over and over. You might think that you master it. Mastering, or the key to master something is just to keep a student mindset always. So that has been the key for me, to keep me engaging on the things that I like to do and to keep innovating, because that's the key of innovation. So yeah, I'll say that.
Tell my audience about the magic moment, the day it suddenly all went right for you.
I think like every day is like that. I know that there's some days. So today, this morning, I had to go to the DMV to get my driver's license renewed. I woke up and I'm like, okay, I need to go, whatever. It's not that I'm super excited about going to the DMV, but I knew that I was going to do this podcast today. And I knew that I have several calls today that I'm really looking forward, because I'm going to teach some stuff and then learn some other stuff. Right now, I have designed my life in a way that I do the things that I like to do when I want to. And that's the majority of the time. So I'm pretty fortunate. I think I've arrived because every day looks like what I like to do. So I don't know if there was any magical moment, because it wasn't always like this. There was a time when I was in a job that I hated. I didn't feel like how I feel right now. But I honestly don't remember when everything started falling in place. I just know that every day now it's a good day.
What have you learned from business as a whole?
Business is a psychological game. And I say this both as an owner and the way you interact with your team, your employees, your partners, your affiliates, everybody. It's about how you persuade people and how you make alliances and commitments. At the end of the day, the thing that makes business happen is people, like people that make the service or the product and the ones that buy it from you. At the beginning of my journey, because I went to business school and they didn't teach me this, I thought it was just a transactional thing. But in reality, it's about how well you treat your employees, your customers, your partners, everybody around. And when you do that, when you add so much value, that is inevitable, they notice it and it makes an impact in their life. And therefore, they will pay you for that. That to me was a big, big realization. That's what I've learned. That's probably different from what you're going to find in a business book.
Thank you. In your business, do you have a mentor or a coach?
Oh, many mentors. I was very fortunate at the very beginning to surround myself around successful people. That was key for my journey. And I'm grateful for those connections. And I know that a lot of my success, it's thanks to those people that taught me something. So I have some coaches. I have a personal coach right now that I do it through the Tony Robbins program. That's amazing. I've done several Tony Robbins events and I highly recommend it to anybody. In the business sense, I have a few that have taught me different stuff. And that's something that you probably will like as an advice when you look for a mentor. Sometimes people think of a mentor as a magical creature that will give you all of the answers. But in reality, or at least in my experience, a mentor has been more a person that is there to hold me in the moments where I wasn't sure that I was able to make it. It's by an advice or by hearing me or by asking me questions. It has been very rare that it's by just saying what to do. I don't think any of my mentors ever said to me, you should do this A, B, C, and D. It was more like, have you considered this thing? Have you thought about partnering here? Have you thought about expanding there? Those are the most valuable because if you don't do the work of making the decisions yourself, what you have instead of a mentor is a boss. You go to somebody and ask what to do and they tell you what to do, then you have a boss, not a mentor. I do take it very seriously and take a lot of time and energy to invest in those relationships so they can feel that they're getting something out of it as well, right? Like, how can I make their life better? And about the magical creature, that's the other part of like, sometimes we idolize people. And when you get to meet them or you get to know them better, then you find things that you don't like about them. And I think that's totally fine. You could have mentors that have a part of their life that you don't really admire, but they're still very successful in other areas that you're looking for advice. So that is also one thing. When you realize that, the world expands a little bit in the possibilities of who could be your mentor and who can teach you something.
Let's talk about your business. Tell us more about it and how can we join it?
Yeah. So if you're an Amazon seller or e-commerce seller, because we also serve Walmart, when you sell in the platform as a third-party seller or as a third-party vendor, you have a dashboard and a system that you interact with. A lot of things happen in that system. You need to create your product, send inventory, comply with the policies, and do many things in the process. That's basically what account management is about. And we serve that. We solve those problems. We take the management out of the plate of the entrepreneur or the owner to free them up with the time so they can do the fun and sexy stuff, right? If you have a business like that, I need help, you probably will know it because the complexity of Amazon is super high. You can go to onlinesellersolutions.com, check out the website, check out the services that we offer. The bigger company I'm merging with, and everything will be one. So that's the company that I partner with, and we're building a service called Seller Assist. So if you go to Carbon Seller Assist, you'll also see the same offerings, just a different name. Eventually, everything will be the same. At one point, whichever website you choose to go to, you will find it there. That's basically what we solve. We solve the headaches for the e-commerce entrepreneurs so they can focus on what they like to do.
When you talk about Amazon e-commerce, isn't it too late for others to join this process? Or is it just the beginning?
That's a very common statement that a lot of people make that says, oh, I should have bought a house back in 1992 and the person was just a baby. A lot of people talk about, oh, you're so late for the real estate market. And it's like, are you really? Like, isn't that what's gonna always happen in this type of world? Think about e-commerce as a platform to be in the house of your potential customers and know how you can solve their problem or fulfill their needs. You can be there anywhere at any time. So I don't think it's late. The thing is that the model have changed a little bit, and the things that people were doing back in 2015 are probably not the same way you're building a brand and a business right now. Was it easier before? It was very non-regulated and hands off for the seller. You talk to the Chinese supplier, then you send it to Amazon, then they were sold, and you never touch anything, and you never think or thought about anything else. Right now, it's not that, but I think the opportunity is still there because Amazon is the biggest e-commerce platform in the world, has hundreds of millions of clients every single month. So if you have something good to sell, that could be an outlet. And e-commerce is not only Amazon, it's not only Walmart. You can have your own website, social media, influencers. So I don't think it will never be too late. Unless at one point Amazon says we're not allowing more new sellers.
What do you think about the AI? What is your view on that?
On the AI, wow, well, I think that's gonna change the world in a like dramatic way, very drastic. It has definitely impacted my life for the better. So I use GPT pretty much every day for things that are very serious for my business. One thing that I did was a color matching. So basically, I take the color of my skin and the color of my eyes and the color of my hair, and ChatGPT will tell me what clothing or colors I could wear that will make me look better. It's crazy because I met a lady that offers these services. And I was like, okay, I think that's probably something that I might be interested in. And then I find out that I could do it. And I'm like, oh my God, speaking to that example, it will dramatically change the world in the sense of like that probably that lady that is offering that type of analysis will have a harder time selling that service because now a machine in less than 30 seconds can do it, right? So that might be scary for a lot of people. I think humans are very good at innovating, and that is exciting. If you think that AI is your enemy, then it will be your enemy. But I see it as a tool to do amazing things. Your output could be 10 times higher just by leveraging AI. On the e-commerce world, well, I'm very excited about what's coming up with Amazon. They announced the new AI personal shopper. Instead of going to Amazon.com and looking for a keyword, let's say that you want to buy a towel or something like that, you will interact with a bot, which is AI, and you will say like, hey, I'm going this weekend to the pool, and what should I get? It will tell you what you will get. That's going back to the jobs of a lot of people. Personal shoppers now will be virtual or with AI. Those things get me very excited.
That's amazing.
Incredible.
Yes, I'm also excited. There will be more from Vanessa in a moment. If you're encouraged by Vanessa's journey, please go to my website at onlinesuccessjourney.com, where you will find more amazing free content. Are you struggling to achieve one or more of your major goals? Do things like fear, confusion, and overwhelm get in the way? Then maybe I can help. I work with clients to support them get unstuck and make massive leaps forward to create their dream life. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com/coaching. That's onlinesuccessjourney.com/coaching. Now, Vanessa, I would love for you to share more with my audience if you're up for it.
Yeah.
If your business was down to its last $100, how would you invest it?
I have $100 in my account. That's what you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't even spend that money. I would just go to my network, right? And let's say my LinkedIn or the people that I know, I'll say, hey, I'm offering something new. And this is the thing, because it went down to $100 because I did something wrong and my services are not working anymore. So I need to do something new. So I'm going to invent something new. Maybe I'll spend $100 paying somebody to do a new page in my website with a new service and then sell it.
If you had a little note in your handbag, what would that mean to you?
I actually have my wallpaper for my phone. It says, discipline creates opportunity. And that to me is a reminder of the power of showing up every day and being consistent. Because I think we live in a world where sometimes things are hard, and sometimes you come across situations where you don't know what's happening or how to get out of it. So the discipline of showing up and being there every time will create that opportunity. But the wallpaper in my computer is 3 words: simplicity, patience, and compassion. And those are the words that I try to live by every single day. I'm not the best at it. I'll tell you this, like, since I found them and I said this will be my words, have always been something very that I try to do very intentionally. But I'm not the most patient person. Sometimes I like to overcomplicate things, so I could be more simple. And I think the compassion, I'm getting there. But I think those reminders are important to have it in your face all the time.
Thank you. Do you feel like you succeeded or like you are only on the way?
By the definition that I have right now, I think there is a lot to do, and I'm still on the way to accomplish many things in my life. I don't think success is a place where you get to. It's not a finish line. It's not that you're like, oh, now you're successful. I think it's a journey. The journey is always incomplete. You always walk more and do more. My biggest success is always coming.
Will you ever stop?
Never. Patients like, why would you stop? Like, what does it mean to stop? Like, because I feel to stop is to die, you know?
Wow. Oh, thank you. As we come to the end of our interview, what additional wisdom would you like to share with our listeners?
I think that's the primary thing. And I remember on a lot of the podcasts that I listen to, they always talk about this idea of investing in yourself, right? And sometimes it's probably somebody trying to sell you a program to invest in yourself. When I said, okay, I'm going to invest in myself, I didn't have the money. Investing in yourself isn't about putting all of your money in a program or doing something. It's about being very intentional on your development. So the way I started was by working out. Working out for me was an investment, and I was investing in my well-being to then be better. Then I started therapy and invested in my mind to be better. Then I started coaching. It doesn't need to be a monetary thing, but make sure you invest in yourself. You put the time to read books. You put the time to listen to people that you admire and you think they're successful. Success leaves clues, and you should look out for those clues to see what resonates with you. Keep that always in mind. The people that are listening to this podcast are probably in that journey. But if you ever doubt it, and I was there at some point in my life where I'm like, I don't understand why I'm doing all of these things. Why do I work out? Why do I listen to podcasts? With time and patience, you will see that investing in yourself pays off. You could see it. And I have so many examples in my life where you see people that are definitely in tough situations just because they didn't take time to invest in themselves.
Thank you. Remind us how we can connect with you.
My favorite social media is LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn, connect with me. Vanessa Hung, H-U-N-G is my last name. You can connect there, follow me. Instagram is Vanessa Hung. If you want to shoot me a message, learn more about the company, we can talk about, cool things like we talk about today. My email is vanessa@onlinesellersolutions.com. And those are the channels.
Thank you. It's been great to have you share your online success journey with us.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Remember, success is a journey.
Don't wait. Let's start the journey.
Patience and Vanessa.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to Patience and her guest and want you to know that there are hundreds of episodes available at onlinesuccessjourney.com. Patience would like to thank you for listening to the podcast, and she has a free gift for you on her website, including an audio compilation of her guests' best tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. Additionally, there are special clips of over 250 episodes that have never aired on the podcast and are only available to members of the Online Success Journey. Check the website and click on Join Now to get free and instant access. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps us each chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed on the favorite platform you have to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review the podcast at Apple Podcasts and other sites. We appreciate your help and your willingness to share the journey. One last thing. If you're feeling a bit lost or overwhelmed on your own journey, patience can help. Check out our coaching sessions on how to set goals and double your productivity while you're at the website. Working with Patience is a great way to get back on the right path. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.